What's going on, guys? It's Cheesy, and welcome back for the fourth Sunday breakdown. This week we'll be taking a look at Spa, the Belgian Grand Prix. So we have a fair amount of announcements before we get started. So sit back, kick back, and hope you guys enjoy this episode. So the first announcement is that I said this is the Belgian Grand Prix. We have skipped 3 Grand Prix. The Hungarian Grand Prix, the Spielberg Grand Prix, and the Spanish Grand Prix. I don't know if I'll get back to those. I don't know if I'll go back. Leave a comment if you want to see me do those. The second announcement is, as you guys can see, I changed my name again. So this name change does not necessarily mean I'm going to end the F1 2019 season. I changed it due to many reasons. One, that I came to realize that it may have been derogatory to some people. So if you guys felt that way, I apologize, and I'm sorry. We don't look, us motorsports fans, we don't necessarily look out for the most important race, that being the human race, and we have to all stay in this together. We races, hashtag we races one. So apologies on that, and I don't think I'll end the F1 series. If you're listening to this, I'll keep it ongoing. That has already been pre-recorded, so I'll just edit it up, and I'll try to send that out to you guys via this YouTube channel. But I think that's it, and hope you guys can enjoy this video, and see you. So what's going on, guys? So hope you all are doing well. As you heard the intro, this is the fourth Sunday breakdown, and as we know, it's uncut. So we'll go through all of the practices, the qualifying, and then the race, and we'll be talking about that. I do have to say that this was a quite uneventful one of those weekends, but a time that I do want to take is to remember Antoine Hubert 2019 Spa F2 championship race. He had his life taken from him, and he's no longer with us. So I want to take a moment of silence for him. Just know that he is remembered, and let's take that moment now. So thank you, guys. I appreciate that. So as we go into this weekend, we see, I said, is uneventful, but we'll go into this practice weekend. And one thing that I do want to say is that I have taken a break. I was off for a couple of days, not as big as my summer holiday, but it was a significant 5 or 6 days that I was off, and that was due to the school year starting, as I am still in grade school. The school year started, so I just had to catch up with that, but now I'll just be uploading consistently. We have that Labor Day weekend, as some of you may know, and I'll be sure to upload. So we're going into P1 here, FP1, sorry, practice 1 at the Belgian Grand Prix Spa circuit, the Spa Catalunya, or Spa, sorry, let me read this full thing out, Circuit de Spa Francorchamps. So Bottas goes 1 with a 1:44.493. That was pretty good laps. That Hamilton goes second fastest with a 1:44.56, so not that far behind. Verstappen goes third, and Perez goes fourth, and Stroll goes fifth. So you're seeing those racing points being up there. Albon goes sixth, so he's not outweighed by his AlphaTauri counterpart, and Ocon goes eighth. Ocon goes seventh. Sainz goes eighth. Ricciardo goes ninth. Norris goes 10th, so Ricciardo pushing, and as we see later on in this Grand Prix, that he is very pushing, and we'll see that Kvyat goes 11th, Gasly goes 12th, Raikkonen goes 13th, Leclerc 14th, Vettel 15th, Latifi 16th, and Russell 17th. So Magnussen, Grosjean, and Gio don't have any laps, or don't have any set laps. Both of the Haas drivers were having mechanical issues, and they had to replace their power unit. So their powertrain unit they had to replace. But we see that Raikkonen, a very experienced driver, Iceman, as I like to call him, he's ahead of both Ferrari. So as we know, Ferraris have been very slow this season. We've seen that and we've talked about that. And they're very slow, but we have both AlphaTauris in front of them, which you would think that they would be. Last season they were above Pierre Gasly and Lance Stroll, but now they're a significant amount back, 10 places back on them, which is absolutely crazy, absolutely bonkers. So as we pull up the practice 2 FP2, we see that Verstappen goes fastest with a 143.7, so almost a second quicker than it was in FP1. And this is only after a lunch break. This isn't a whole day of driving. This is just a lunch break, but that makes the significant difference. And Ricciardo goes a 143.7, so only 0.04 of a second slower than Verstappen, and we'll see his pace very much help him out. Hamilton goes third, Albon goes fourth, and Perez goes fifth. So we're seeing Perez still fight and Daniel Ricciardo still fight. Danny Rick is my favorite driver on the grid, so I'm not trying to be biased when I say that he's doing absolutely amazing, and I'll love to see where he goes with a quote-unquote better car. We just take a side note right here. Better car. I'm not saying that McLaren's better, or that the McLaren drivers aren't driving the cars to their full potential, but we just haven't seen the pace that we usually or we want to see, and we've seen crazy amounts of pace from both Ocon and Ricciardo. So is he downgrading his car? I don't know. That'll probably be a topic of These Lug Nuts, which is the podcast coming out, and it'll be a separate channel. But make sure you guys go look at that when I post it up. I'll put it on the community page and go check that out. So I think it was so Bottas is 6th, so he's behind Perez and Ricciardo and Albon. So you're just seeing that he wasn't that fast. He was let me do those quick maths. 0.8 faster than he was in FP1, but that didn't pay off. Norris goes 7th, Ocon goes 8th, and Sainz goes 9th, and Gasly goes 10th. So talking about that downgrade, Sainz is definitely moving to Ferrari. That has been signed, but I will go out on a limb and say that he is definitely downgrading his car, that he did not get a great deal for that trade, and I think that if he stayed with McLaren for one more season, I think he would have been good. But obviously Ricciardo took that place, and it's done deal. Stroll goes 11th, Kvyat goes 12th, Gio goes 13th, Raikkonen goes 14th, Leclerc 15th, Russell 16th, Vettel 17th, Latifi 18th, Grosjean 19th, and Magnussen 20th. So both Haas's are in the back of the field as they suffered with the power unit damage, and the power unit had some issues. But we see Vettel and Leclerc still 15 and 17, which is not good, and that is just alarming for the next or for the race, and it's sad. Leclerc has been cheeky and getting in with those podiums, but I don't know if he'll be able to keep on doing that. So when we move on to FP3, Hamilton goes first, fastest with a 143.2. I believe that was just a little bit faster than FP2. Verstappen. Ocon goes second. So in FP2 and FP3, we've seen Renault's going second fastest, which is crazy. Norris hops up there, showing that McLaren pace. So contradicting what I just said. Apologies for that dog noise. That's my dog. Albon goes 4th. Bottas goes 5th. And Verstappen goes 6th, Ricciardo 7, Stroll 8, Sainz 9, and Perez 10. So Ricciardo staying 7. My dad has a joke where he always sees Ricciardo in 7th place. He's my boy Danny Rick staying in 7th. That's what he says. Apologies for that noise too. But that's what he says, and Ricciardo's staying in there, but still having a fast time. But hopefully we'll see him move up. And we have Gasly 11th, Kvyat 12th, Latifi 13th. So Latifi pushing the car and pushing himself, but staying up there. Magnussen 14th, Grosjean 15th, Raikkonen 16th, Leclerc 17th, Russell 18th, Gio 19th, and Vettel 20th. So the Ferrari's struggling, man. All the Ferrari power units are at the back. As you see, Raikkonen is there. Raikkonen down. I believe they're all Ferrari powered units except for Russell, so excuse me there. But that's just crazy that you see those cars just slower, and it's disappointing for that. And I want to see them do better, but I don't think they have that in them right at this moment. I think that this weekend, when we're coming up to the Italian Grand Prix, where we race around Monza, Monza. I think that those are high-speed corners, and they said that they'll have a new car, but if they don't, I think that they'll be very slow. And we have the maybe it is. I think it's Bahrain. Sorry, not Azerbaijan, Bahrain Grand Prix that is there, and that is all straights. So if they don't get their power unit fixed, if they don't get their car fixed, they're definitely going to be at the back. So I switch pages over to qualifying now. Hamilton goes first fastest with the 142.3. And this time I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to go down from FP1, then I'm going to switch it up and then go the other way. But so Verstappen goes fastest in qualifying one. He goes, I believe, fastest in qualifying one. And the slowest man is Grosjean, I believe. I have to click through these times to look at it, but I believe it is Grosjean. And so the people that kicked out are Raikkonen, Grosjean, Gio, Latifi, and Magnussen. So in that order, there's 16 down. So Raikkonen 16, Grosjean 17, Gio is 18, Latifi is 19, and Magnussen's 20. So if we look at the two Ferraris, Leclerc sets a 143.6, which is 5/10 slower, and Vettel sets 143.5, so that's 4/10 slower than Verstappen, who had first place in Q1. Obviously, if you get first place in Q1 does not mean you're going to be Q2, as I just said, Hamilton. But for Q2, and now we'll go back into the normal order, Russell's 15th, Vettel's 14th, Leclerc's 13th, Gasly's 12th, and Kvyat's 11th. So we have the two Ferraris back to back. As we know, Leclerc is the number one driver, and Vettel's second to that, even though I think Vettel does have a world championship. Don't quote me on that. Definitely don't quote me on that. But Leclerc is the first driver, and he's stepping up his pace, but not too much, not to the point where he can get to the top 10 shootout, which is a little bit disappointing. So for then the top 10 shootout, you have Norris goes 10th, Stroll goes 9th, Perez 8th, Sainz 7th, Ocon 6th, Albon 5th, Ricciardo 4th, Verstappen 3rd, Bottas 2nd, Hamilton 1st. So Danny Rick putting up some great times, 142.061, which is smoking fast. That's incredible. So just to put some perspective on that, that is 5/100ths slower than Hamilton's in Q2. So that's just crazy fast, and Hamilton just went even faster. I don't know how that's possible. This is crazy cars. It's hard for me to fathom. But we see that Ricciardo's doing great, and Ocon also being in 6th. So 4-6 for Renault, which is incredible. I bet they're happy to see that. And Lando Norris, a great driver. We're not seeing him perform up to the standards that he needs to be, and we're not seeing him perform to the standards that we want to see him at. And when we move on to the race, results, we have 2 did not finishes and 1 did not start. So Sainz does not start. I believe he had a power unit issue or some issue with the car, and he was not able to start. Russell and Gio, they both crashed out after, can we see this? After 44 laps. 9 laps, excuse me. So they both crashed out after 9 laps, and they were unable to get that. They were going down the right-hander that takes you onto the fast high-speed chicane before the last 2 corners. And if you know the circuit, you know what I'm talking about, that right-hander. That's a pretty sharp turn. And Gio spun out, lost his wheel, and the wheel hit Russell. And Russell went into the left-hand barrier while Gio was on the right-hand barrier. Gio came back across the track and almost was so close to touching Russell's back, and that was very, very scary to see. We don't want to see any issues at this circuit, as it's very high speed and there can be a lot of issues. But there was some racing going on, not too much. It was a pretty steady race. Spa is usually a steady race, and there's not a lot of things that are going on during Spa, but I'll run it down. Hamilton goes first, Bottas second, Verstappen third, Ricciardo fourth, Ocon fifth, Albon sixth, Norris seventh, Gasly eighth, Stroll ninth, Perez 10, Kvyat 11th, Raikkonen 12th, Vettel 13th, Leclerc 14th, Grosjean 15th, Latifi 16th, Magnussen 17th. So we're seeing that Leclerc lost a place and he jumped down, but I think everybody in the top 10 stayed in the top 10. Ocon moved up to 5th, so it's a 4-5 for Renault. Norris moved up until 7, and I think that's everybody that was there. Excuse me. So that's what happened. Ricciardo set the fastest lap of the race during the last lap, so he really pushed there, and he really wanted to get that extra point for the team. That's 23 points, and I believe that is the most that Renault has ever had in a single race. So props to them for doing well, and props to their team for doing well. And that's just amazing. And we really do love to see it. And we love to see it. But I don't think that this race was the most interesting of the year. Or I know that this race was not the most interesting of the year. It was pretty slow and disappointing to see Ferrari engines and the team Ferrari, Scuderia Ferrari, did not do too well. It did not do too hot. So, guys, that is the end of it. Be on the lookout for the new podcast, These Lug Nuts, the Motorsport podcast, that we're going to be talking about everything that's going on in the F1 world. We're going to be talking about Le Mans, and we're going to be talking about driver transfers in between. As you know, some of you may know Fernando Alonso moving back and forth, and we'll be talking about stuff like that. So stay tuned. I also got the Logitech G923 wheel, and I'll be playing with that. I'll be doing some run-throughs of circuits before the races happened, so I hope to get a video out tonight where that shows the Monza circuit. We're going to be going on Assetto Corsa, and we're going to be taking a historic car. We're going to be taking a different historic car every week, but I won't spoil it too much. And just stay tuned for those videos. If you guys enjoyed, please be sure to drop a like. It lets me know what you guys like. I'm not looking for the clout. I'm not looking for the followers. Trying to help you guys enjoy this. So if you don't, just let me know what I can do to do better. Let me know of what you guys want to see. And if you do want to stay up on my content, if you could consider subscribing, and just turn on those post notifications if you want to figure out when I drop a video. Hope you all have a great weekend. If you celebrate Labor Day, have a great Labor Day, and see you guys next time.